Hi, Danny Morrison here for the Danny Morrison Expert Comments alongside Rario.com as ever. And this was an important game for India, up against Afghanistan. There at Zayed Stadium can often be tricky when you've got the powerhouse of a test playing nation, very experienced. But they've been having their troubles, haven't they, India? And you really were, as an Indian fan, wanting to see the superstar status click together and get it right. Toss went the way of Mohammad Nabi of Afghanistan, and clearly was going to bowl first. So asked Virat Kohli to say, listen, you guys can have a bat, we're going to have a bowl, and see what you're going to post. So when you look at the surface there, it always just tends to nibble a bit early on, so you're just worried about how things were going to go. But normal service restored, and the star quality, that is KL Rahul and Rohit Sharma, put on 140. Wonderful to see. And of course, we know with all of their experience and their class and their shots on the up, the use of the feet and their balance, simply outstanding. And they really did get stuck into the Afghanistan bowling attack, which, can be tricky. Very useful, Afghanistan's bowling. As we know, with the spin, and you think about Rashid, you think about Hamid, and you think about Hassan, and these guys, very useful. A bit of Naveen al-Haq as well, and Mohammad Nabi with his bag of tricks. So it was very interesting, and it was also very good to see, if you're an Indian fan, that fluency back. They put on, as I say, 140, KL and Rohit, and in the end, Rohit ran away with it a bit there. 74 from 47, outstanding. 8 fours and 3 sixes. And to go with KL Rahul, he got 69 from 48, 6 fours and a couple of maximums, and they're back to almost their very best. So very important for India to get something back in and see where they're going. Bowling, well, as you can imagine, you breach 200, 210 for 2, and you're going to go around the track. Summoners. I'd like to take my hat off here to Hamad Hassan. Didn't take a wicket, but in terms of none for 34, when the ball's flying around a bit in 4 overs, going at 8s is pretty good, and just sort of get a little bit of substance there to try and slow things down of that Rohit Sharma, KL Rahul partnership. And Rashid Khan, same thing for him. None for 36 off 4. They get stuck into a little bit, pick their moments. Rohit played him pretty well, and so did KL at times. He had a couple of big shouts there for LBW and decisions. They went upstairs and referred them, but there was a little bit of glove on them and what have you. So no wicket there for Rashid Khan, looking for a big milestone that wasn't to be on the night. Save that for another night. And Naveen al-Haq, who has a great bag of tricks, can be quite nippy in the way, and is quite stiff-armed angles and his action, not too dissimilar in a way to Jasprit Bumrah and their unique actions. And he can be tricky. Saw him in the Caribbean Premier League, and he bowled some great stuff and great spells. So when I look at Naveen, sadly for him, as I say, someone goes around the track and gets smashed. He none for 59 and 4, put to the sword by India, and tough going. So in the end, they didn't really need Virat Kohli to come in, but they put on 140, and India could tweak that partnership again. And so good to see Hardik Pandya and Rishabh Pant put the icing on the cake a bit, and some of their extraordinary striking there. And Hardik Pandya coming in and doing the job. He's had a lot of injuries with his bowling, but I tell you what, 35 from 13, absolutely smashing it. 2 sixes, 4 fours, and a bit of Rishabh Pant there, 27 from 13, him too with 3 maximums. Just allowed India, the powerhouse, to show what they're about and get over 200, as I say. 210 for 2, tough night out. And the fielding, it just wasn't quite up to it. There's a couple of important drop catches from Afghanistan. In reply, you needed that top order to do a bit what India had done in the first half of the match. Wasn't to be. Mohammad Shahzad, sadly for Afghan fans, he got out for naught. Didn't contribute there. And I look at Hazratullah, unlucky 13 for him. Ramanullah, he only got to 19. And old Muscles Gulbadine, he only got to 18. So that top order, you're looking for your top 4 to get the bulk of the run, surely, when you're chasing over 200. Left to Mohammad Nabi to get to 35 and having some sort of impetus into the innings. Well, they ended up getting 144 for 7 there in their 20. And, a little bit of Kareem Junnit, the bowler, smacked a few at the end. 42 off 22, a couple of sixes and a few fours. But really, they were always behind that asking rate that just kept climbing and putting pressure on. And when you look at the bowling, that batting that did so well from KL and Rohit transformed into the bowling. And so that was good from India's perspective, no doubt. Mohammad Shami, 3 for 32 with 13 dots and 4 overs, outstanding. And his good mate, Jasprit Bumrah, was he 1 for 25 and 4. He too, with 13 dots, was superb. And a bit of Ravi Ashwin. So good to see, the Test star and, of course, big franchise star players like to step up and get an opportunity. So Ravi Ashwin there, just looking at his figures there, you're 2 for 14 with a dozen dots, outstanding. And so very, very good performance. And in the end, who else for player of the match? Had to be Rohit Sharma with his outstanding innings of 74 there. And India, too strong, too powerful, comfortable winners in match 33 by 66 runs. If you